Alright, this building was made basically from the instructions in Zack of All Trades video about a $500 shed. Now I didn't really target $500 in my project. I just wanted something relatively cheap and fairly quickly done. But I've done a few modifications to his thing that I'd like to point out, and this is not going to be a construction video. His video is excellent in and of itself. But let me point out a couple things to you. One is that the joints where he made lap joints, I made scarf joints. And a scarf joint is just a long angle, and then the two pieces are jointed with some PL polyurethane glue. So those are all glued together, and then my blocks are 16 and I think his are 18. Those are all minor differences. I use plywood rather than OSB, kind of for longevity. Basically the design and the pattern is all exactly like his. I put in a 1/2 inch piece of plywood as a ridge board just so I could get things lined up a little easier and better. I don't know if that was a great idea or not. The other thing I did was I added those horizontal boards. I put one up pretty high and then another one down low. And this just ties the structure together, makes everything tight. And when you're putting it up, you know, it's all up, it's all sheathing's all screwed on and everything. But this just helps line things up a little more and get them a little more rigid. Also, my foundation is 6x6 posts, and they're all about 4 foot. And then I put cement blocks between them. I didn't put any mortar in between them or anything like that. They're just kind of sitting there to cover up the holes so that rats and stuff don't run in. Although I suppose they could run in and out this door. I'm still going to have to design a door for the big end where I put my bobcat and the tractor in here. And they will fit side by side in here, and works pretty well. Now, the other thing that occurred to me is since I have these boards all along here, I could now use them to make a shelf. So I started screwing up various scraps of wood and making these little shelves, and I'm just going nuts putting them everywhere. And a lot of what I'm doing is I'm using them for storage of all my various screws and stuff. I put them in these peanut butter jars, and they just sit up on the shelf. And then I got all kinds of other pegs and horns and stuff up here to hold things. And I want to put some drawers out here as well. The other thing I did is I added this loft, 2x12s, and then I put something relatively heavy up there. I've got these side boards that hook into it, plus these posts, so that if I get a heavy load up there, it should be able to handle anything I put up there. One thing I found out when I was constructing this thing is that if you make your arches, the length of those arches, like 1/8 of an inch different, that's a big difference. So you want to make sure you control your lengths pretty tightly. The other thing I did was I used the cutoff on the inside for the bottom of each arch, and then I could screw it down to the plate real easy. That pretty much covers what I've done for it. I put a couple boards across, not that they're giving any support up there, but I want to hang things from them. I'll probably hang a sneak boat up there or something. And of course this end I put a door in, and I got this end closed off. And of course it's in the traditional tarp. I've still got yet to put an actual roof on it. But metal roofing is going to be, you know, one of the most expensive parts of the job. One other thing, rather than cut up all these boards for the arches, I had the hardware store cut them for me. And it cost me 50 cents a cut, probably some of the best money I spent on the entire project. And then I had them all cut up before I even left the store, and I could just start constructing them when I got home. That may or may not be an option for you, but this particular style of building, I really think it went together relatively quickly, pretty easily, and with just one other helper I was able to get this up in a couple days, besides the gluing of all the arches and everything, because that glue, it takes 24 hours to dry, so that takes a while. Anyway, if you're going to build one of these, make sure you check out Zack of All Trades video. It's a much better construction video, but this is just some additional ideas of what I've done to change it around, make it mine a little bit. Thanks for watching.